All right, guys, this is my update video for the month of December. I know I'm running late, but I wanted to get some things out before Christmas. And that's another thing, too. I want to wish you guys Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. If I don't get to talk to you guys again till next month, let me talk about what we're working on and what's going on, things that I've heard. One of them is, I did a video last month about we were shutting everything down. What I was talking about was basically the review part. I think 2021 was probably the biggest year for us doing all these reviews on a lot of bats. We worked this year non-stop through the whole year. And if you guys go back and look, we put a lot of video out. And mainly because Ken Vandergaard, a couple of years ago when COVID started, had got a hold of me and asked me, hey Dave, I'm gonna do this, let's get some videos out there for COVID. A lot of the older guys that are staying home, or a lot of people that aren't working, let's get them something to look at. I did that, and Ken started pumping out more videos too. And with me, I never slowed down, because I know a lot of you guys sitting at home and watching this, and you guys have come up and told me this, either at tournaments or you message me and tell me, and keep it up. We're watching your videos every day or every other day whenever you put them out. And it's actually became, with us, got a lot of notoriety where there's a lot of people when I go to tournaments. I want to thank you guys for that too, the tournaments that I went to this year, coming up to me and thanking us for what we do. And that makes us feel good whenever we see that. It means you guys are listening or paying attention or laughing whenever you're watching, because basically that's what we're out here to do, is entertain you guys and talk about, not bullshit you guys, but talk about the truth when we're talking about bats. So what we'll never shut it down in the hitting department. What we're gonna do is just shut down the reviews, not do any more reviews anymore until the month of March. And then we're gonna get started back up again in March. And that actually helps us, because you don't wanna hit cold balls, on these bats, especially these high performing bats that came out within the last 2 years that are out there. Because I'm seeing at this time of year, for one, you shouldn't be swinging your gamers at this time of year. And I know it's hard, because during Vegas every year all the new shit comes out. So you guys grab them, you take them home, and you think it's okay to hit them in cold weather. And you guys might say, well, it's 75 here. Well, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, how hard are the balls on these high performing bats, these high tech bats nowadays? How hard are the balls? How cold are the balls? How cold is the bat? Is the bat got a lot of swings on it? That's another thing too. If you have a bat that has a lot of swings on it, you take it in cold weather, it's going to blow up on you pretty fast. So that's the one thing too that we're trying to get away from. I will say this, that I bought 5 cases of spinners balls. We're going to start hitting those right now and do a little review on them and let you guys know what we think about them. We already started on it. We've hit them for the last couple of weeks. I've got 2 more cases coming in, and we're going to hit them this week, because today it's like 55 degrees and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it is getting cooler here, but next week it's going to get a little warmer, and we have some prototypes coming in next week again that we're going to actually get out and start swinging. And I'm going to take you through that whole process, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video about what we're working on right now. But we're not really shutting it down. We're still going to hit, because a lot of guys are working out and they like to get out and kind of stretch a little bit and hit. The problem is, it's not going to look good, especially with the guys that are working out, because you can tell those two things are like oxymorons. They never do go together, because when you work out and you try to hit, your hitting's going to suck. That's the reason a lot of people fail, or a lot of people give up when they start a workout routine, because when they get out and they start taking BP, guys, your swing is going to be all messed up. But if you keep at it, and at the end of the year tweak your little workout routine, or change your little workout routine, it's going to benefit you through the year. And that's one thing I wanted to take you guys through too when I talk about working out, because you got to put up with it hitting like shit. A lot of you guys, won't put your ego to the side, and you got to get out there every time and have a great hitting session. You got to understand, when you work out, you don't have that anymore. And usually during the off season and when it happens. So when you're working out the way we work out, or the way I work out, and you go out and you start hitting, your swing just looks horrible. And I'm going to walk you guys through that, especially when I start doing my workout routines, because it is off season now. I'm going to walk you guys through this and what to expect, and just stay with it, because you'll find out you'll get better distance, you'll get better flexibility, during the year if you do my little workout routine. So that's another thing too I wanted to talk about, is we're just going to get out and hit. It's not going to be pretty because we're going to be sore, we're going to be tight, and it's going to take a while. But what I want to do is I want to take you through the journey to let you know what to expect, especially when you start a workout routine like I have. When you guys hit this time of year, and I hope, you know, that a lot of you guys aren't out there hitting your gamers, you have to understand that everything changes. The ball changes, the core of the ball changes, and it doesn't matter what degrees it is outside that one day. How cold was it the day before that actually affected the bat or the balls? You guys got to look at that too, and it's not worth it. I want to address this at this time every year, and I've been doing this for a little less, probably around 8-9 years right now, is I have an account on eBay. And I do sell bats, and I choose to do it on eBay. The main reason, because I can set a price, a low price is usually what I do. I sell a lot of my stuff on eBay. You can pick up a good cheap bat from me on eBay. On the other side of that is if it's a bat that's in high demand, that price will go through the roof. I usually start them off really cheap. Like I sold Dudleys about 2 months ago. They were $50 a bat. I started it off. I've sold Onyx, enough sets, and I'm starting a price either $100 or $150. So if you get in there and nobody's bidding on it, you can pick up a good bat at a cheap price. But what's happening with these Onyx, the supply and demand is just so high that the Onyx bats have been going for a high price when I put them on eBay. And guys, I do this every year. I was selling, you know, 2 years ago, a year ago, I was selling the OG Dudleys that I had, and they were going for a lot of money. And it all depends on what you guys want to get. I don't sit there and talk about you guys spending that kind of money. I don't care. That's your money to spend, and who am I to tell you what to buy? What I am here to tell you is the money that you spend on my bats goes to balls. I just bought 8 cases, a total of 8 cases of balls. The one, you know, the review balls and the balls that we hit when it's cold outside, which is the spinners. That's where that money goes to. I buy bat tape for all these bats that we do. I buy a lot of stuff. I buy batting gloves. I buy pine tar, spray pine tar. I buy pitching screens. I buy stuff like that for the guys. So I put out, and that cart that I have, you see on the behind the scenes, that cart that's behind me is a $450 cart. So that's where that money from me selling on eBay. Next thing I want to talk about is swinging weight. A lot of you guys and keep asking me, Dave, can you tell us what the swinging weight of this bat is whenever you're doing your review? And I don't put it in there. I actually tell it if it's a 12-inch or if it's a 13-inch, and if it's a 1-piece or a 2-piece. I'll put those in there, but I don't talk about swinging weights because my swinging weight is totally different than your swinging weight. You should never go by someone else's swinging weight. Now, in the past, is a lot of you guys would ask this whenever it came to other bat manufacturers out there, because when you go up in swinging weight, they kind of tend to put the weight in the hands. But I'll usually tell you that in the review. So you don't, you know, when I'm swinging, and we're swinging bats right now, it doesn't matter what swinging weight we have, because your swinging weight is not the same as mine, because I have different weight. I weigh different. You know, my strength is different, my bat speed is different, my size is different, the way I swing is different than the way you swing. So that all, it's like a formula, guys, and I've always talked about this. So that all is different when it comes into swinging weight and actually choosing a bat size that's good for you. Like with the Onyx, the Onyx has actually baffled us since the get-go of doing this, because Carlos puts less weight in his hands and more weight in the end. So what happens is, like, I just swung a 17.5 with an 8.2 handle weight the other day, and I've swung that in other bat manufacturers that are out there, Worth, Mikan, Suncoast. I've swung that big heavy weight, and I cannot swing it. It hurts my back. But for some reason, I can swing an Onyx bat. I don't know how he did this, and Billy tends to think that it's the way he has the handle flex. But I don't know. You'd have to talk to him about that. But I know I can swing an Onyx, a heavier Onyx on the end load. Not too much, but a heavier Onyx on the end load. But that's the only thing that I say my swinging weight's different than yours, because my strength is different than yours, or my weaknesses is different than yours. So that's the reason I don't put swinging weights in all of these videos that we have out there. I'll tell you if it's a 12-inch, 13-inch, 13.5, one piece or a two piece, but that's it. I have a 1 hour and I call it a reality YouTube video, and they're in episodes. And it talks about basically just us just out there bullshitting. We're talking to each other. We're getting together. We're starting a review or starting a hit. They're all different. Our topics are different about bats. Our topics about what we're doing. Are we fishing? Are we, it's just different things. That's the reason I did it, is because to entertain a lot of people that are at home right now. And I started doing it about 2 years ago when Kim Vanbergard had called me and told me about we need to do this. So I kind of made the decision to start this so a lot of you guys sit at home and you can watch us and laugh, because it is funny, and we do crack on each other. We crack on, just like friends do. We crack on each other. It's nothing personal. We love each other. We care about each other. But we do crack on each other. We're typical. We're actually like you guys are that are out there that are hitting, and you sit back and you crack. We curse a little bit, but you guys have to understand too, and I had to explain this years ago. It's basically the way we are. We're around our friends. We're not like this around our spouses or wives or girlfriends. We're not that like this at home and around our kids. And I need to let you guys know that, because we don't talk like this all the time. It's just around a bunch of guys. It's like locker room talk. It's like when we're at the deer lease or we're at the cabin or we're somewhere else and we're around the guys. That's basically the way we are when we do these behind the scenes. So I want you guys to really know that's you. When we cut up, we talk to each other. That's just there. It's not anywhere else. It's just there. Or maybe on the softball field, we're hanging around a bunch of our friends and no one else is around. That's just the way we talk. It's nothing personal. But on these behind the scenes, it's not, I'm not going to put in there, for one, they're an hour long and I got to go through them anyway. And I cut out little things that I really don't want anybody to hear. And they're actually, somebody said the other day, politically correct, but it's really not, because we're really good at that. But it's usually things that are about a bat manufacturer, right, that has said something that in confidence that we don't need anybody else to hear. Because that's the one thing, when other people talk about that and said, hey, just between me and you, or don't put it out there, they'll tell us this and we don't say anything. Because to be in this business as long as we have, 12 years now, going on 13 actually, we can't talk, we don't sit there and we don't sit there and gossip with other people. We actually keep shit to ourselves. And that's the one thing, that's what I think makes us, because we are honest. We don't bullshit with people. We don't try to bullshit people, basically. And I think that just makes us more popular, when some people can talk to us in confidence and say, hey, just between you, this is what I heard. And I think when I cut it out, that's just ways of honoring what they've asked us not to say. I have a website. It's www.seniorsoftballbatreviews.com. I have traffic going through there every day. What I want to do, and I've done this in the past, and I kind of took it down a few years ago, and I want to put it back up there. And the main reason why is I get a lot of questions during the day are asking me, hey, where'd you get the balls from? Hey, where did you get your spinners from? Hey, where did you get your Thunder Advance from? And what I don't like doing, and I've done this and I've said this for years, is I don't like buying from big companies. I don't like buying from Direct Sports. I don't like all these sporting good companies out there. What I will do is I'll pass that. That's Mr. Blake. What I do like doing is the reps that are out there. I like passing that money on to them. And instead of going over them and going to the head people and getting product to them. So I like making them the money or giving them the money. So what I wanted to do on my website, I wanted to do a page. In that page, I want it to be nothing but contact information on reps, on what they're selling. Let's say a Suncoast rep or a Mikan rep on there, one of the lower guys that are out there, a lot of the lower guys that are out there, and give content on West Coast, East Coast, and give them give them, let's say an Alan Tanner, I would put him up there. I have no problem putting him up there. He's one of the little guys. Customer service is great with Alan. Gets my shit out. Every time I order from him, he gets it out within the next day, or even that day if it's not too late, that UPS or FedEx is not running by his place. Alan's very good at that. So I would put him up there. I would put a lot of the little guys up there. A lot of the little guys that are doing stuff for Suncoast. A lot of little guys doing stuff for Onyx. And then I would put all of their contact for him. If you guys got a website, that would be even better. I can link your website into that page. But that's another thing too. I want you guys that are those people to get in contact with me, message me, and I'll get all of your contact information and I'll put it in my website. But I want my website to be something that a hub for a lot of the seniors out there that need information, that need all of these contacts. CBD oil, Leroy. That's another thing too. I'm taking CBD oil. I have been for years, but I'm doing the one that Leroy sells right now, and he talked to me a little bit about it, and I bought some from him. I want to try it out. I got Billy some, and I got Bubba some, and they're going to try it out. We're going to do a review on the CBD oil that Leroy actually has right now, and I'll put a picture of it up, but I'm actually going to talk about that in a video. I just started it about a week ago. I had started it. We have a new t-shirt design coming out, and another thing too is I'm getting up on, you need 10,000 subscribers to sell t-shirts on YouTube, and I'm getting close, but not there yet. I think I've got 6,300 I think subscribers right now. I need to get those numbers up. So if you guys are watching this channel, and here's another thing too, only 30% of the people who watch my shit are subscribers. Guys, to make this channel grow, to make all the senior softball or all the softball channels grow, be a subscriber. Push that bell that's on the right hand side. You'll subscribe, and then on the right there's a little bell. You just push that bell, and like I put this video out, you get a ding on your phone. You look down and boom, there's the video, and you can just click on it. But we make our money, a lot of these guys on YouTube make their money by advertising. Those advertising little things that pop up that you see when this video is going along, that actually pays us pennies, on every time that you're being advertised, that advertising is going to you. We have no control on what they're putting up there, but subscribe to my channel, this YouTube channel. It's when I looked at the analytics, and then I looked at 70% of the guys are not even a subscriber to my channel that watch my channel. And we are bigger this year. We get bigger every year when we're doing this, because a lot of you guys, I think because of COVID, a lot of you guys are staying home. A lot more people are watching this channel because, for one, it's entertaining, it's informational, and we cover everything when it comes to softball or senior softball. But I have a new t-shirt design coming out. That's what I was talking about. Got a new t-shirt design coming out, and I want to advertise on YouTube, but you got to have 10,000 subscribers and you can advertise them. I do, at the bottom of this page in the comment section, I have I think it's Teespring, that I sell t-shirts on, face masks, stuff like that, of my design. I have some more designs coming out that I'm actually going to put out there too on that Teespring that you guys can order from. SSUSA is upping their fee, and I seen this the other day. I actually put it on Facebook. A lot of you guys commented on it, and actually, in my opinion, they're raising their fee pretty high. I think it's $5 more a year per registration per player. Now, I kind of clicked on some numbers, guesstimation, because I don't know how many seniors out there are actually registered with SSUSA, but I clicked on some numbers on what I thought, how many there were. And then they sat there and they talked about the ball fee and the field fee. Did y'all guys see the fields in Vegas last year? I walked around from field to field. Those fields sucked. For them to say that it's fees for the fields, and then there was nobody working in fields for a whole year, I would even say more, because of COVID and everything shut down. They weren't playing softball in Vegas. So you think they're going to maintain those fields, if they're not playing there? No, they're not. Everything was shut down in Vegas. And then the fields, I think this year, other than Big League Dreams, I think the fields this year sucked. They were just dry. It looked like a freaking desert on a couple of those fields. out there. It just, they weren't maintained. They weren't watered. I mean, and then now all of a sudden, you know, entry fees went up, registration fees went up, and there was another fee that went up. And I did some calculations. That's a lot of money. Now, I know those fields didn't go up that much. And I know those little square packs they get from China didn't go up that much because they order those thousands, and those are pennies on the dollar. So I really don't, here's the deal about it too. Somebody asked me this. I don't have a problem with them doing it. I really don't give a shit because it's a business. They're out there to make money. But when your price package sucks the way yours does, you know, the ring shit, you know, I understand a lot of guys out, but that's old now. The ring shit is old. You know, give away some gloves, give away some batting gloves, give away some bats, because I know you guys can get good bat sponsorship. Here's the deal, guys. Don't let them bullshit you. They can have a bat sponsorship come in there and sponsor a few things and give them bats damn near at cost. I know this is a fact. So them to go up on the prices and not giving anything extra. And I can see if they were giving away, let's say for first place, 15 bats, you know, fielding gloves for best defensive player, good fielding gloves. I'm not talking about Walmart shit. I'm talking about good defensive prizes for fielding gloves. Batting gloves. I'm not talking about piece of shit batting gloves either. I'm talking about nice batting gloves for the guys. Give them something instead of just take. Give back. You know, that's the big thing too about senior ball that pisses me off. You know, you're making money off of us. You are. Turn around and give back. Okay, let's do this. What about putting a couple more umpires on fields? Let's say if you're going to charge us that kind of money, let's run 2 umpires out there. Because guys, there's a lot of mistakes that are made with 1 umpire. And I'm not blaming the umpire. It's just so much he can do. So much running around, running out there. Guys, could you imagine if an umpire during the whole tournament had to run out to second base to make a call, or, you know, a call that was going to be, you know, a play that was going to be called at second base? It's just hard for them. At first, they'll probably do it, but after a while, they get tired of doing that shit because they're by themselves. If you're going to charge that kind of money, run 2 umpires out there. Give us something back if you're going to take our money. Comment down below what you guys think about that, going up on the prices. Ancestry DNA. Right now, after I finish this video, and I'm going to tell you why on a separate video. Christmas is coming up. Get in right now because their price has been cut in half. Ancestry DNA. And buy anybody. I've actually bought this for Christmas and birthdays. Billy's trying to get a hold of me. He's actually, I don't know if you can read that. He's actually talking about a bat. And I know you can't read that. And I can't. He's actually talking about the thickness of the handle. He is ate up. He's like Sheldon. If you guys watch Big Bang Theory, that's Bill Blake. Sheldon is Bill Blake. Constantly thinking, constantly, his mind is constantly going 100 miles an hour about different things, bat handles. So that's just him. This is what I get all the time, guys, from this guy, Bill Blake. He's asking me a question. The diameter, using the MM and the diameter, 6 centimeters. He's talking about the handle thickness of a bat. He is funny as shit. He kills me because it makes me think. Oh. Ancestry DNA. Go out and buy the kit. It's half price right now, $49, $59. Give it away as a gift. And I'm going to tell you the reason why in another video. And it's going to be my DNA video, my ancestry video. And it's a long story, but I've got to talk about it. It has nothing to do with softball. You can either watch it or not. Really don't care. But I want to talk about this company, Ancestry DNA, that I'm a part of. And Ancestry.com is the first thing I started getting into. And then that kind of, and guys, it will be the best thing you can buy somebody for a Christmas gift. Go out and get it. I actually got my kids done. I got friends of mine done. And, you know, it's a great Christmas gift, less than $50. And have them do their DNA and then send it off, and it tells you what nationality you are, where you came from, where your family came from. So it's pretty neat. So guys, it's the best Christmas gift that I've ever given somebody. One of the best. Facebook hacks. I get a lot of people trying to request me on Facebook. The one thing too is I automatically delete you. If you don't have a profile picture, I'll delete you, because I've been getting requests from people I already have on Facebook that I'm already friends with, and I'll get other ones too. If you send me, and here's another one, I don't send anybody videos on Facebook. I very seldom message anybody on Facebook. If you get a video from me that says, is this you in the video? Because I do a lot of videos. Don't open it, because that's the way they hack. So there's a lot of hackers out there. If you get any information from me, guys, do not answer it. Don't look at videos if you happen to get a video from me. And I get this a lot, especially lately. And I don't know why before Christmas, but every year about this time, there's a lot of people hacking on Facebook trying to, but if you send me a picture and it doesn't have a profile, and here's another thing too, if not trying to be a dick or anything, but I'll actually stalk your Facebook page, your wall. And if you're all about political shit, I won't friend you. You've got to have softball in there somewhere. If you're trying to sell Oakley glasses, I won't friend you. If you're playing this crush TikTok shit, I don't want to say TikTok, but if you're playing this crush games, I won't friend you. I've got a lot of people out there I'm friends with, mainly softball players, but if you're trying to push a political agenda, I won't do it, guy. I won't, and it's nothing against you. It's just, I don't need that stuff on my wall. I don't need to look at that shit. My Facebook and my YouTube channel is mainly for entertaining. You know, I hardly ever listen to the news. I get a lot of my news off YouTube. That's where I get my news from, on YouTube. So I try to stay away from it. Another thing too, guys, I don't watch a lot of that shit on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, because it's so fucking depressing. You know, I keep my entertainment up just talking to friends of mine, or, you know, watching Yellowstone. And other TV shows too. So I just happen to love Yellowstone, or watch old movies that I like. That's the way I entertain myself, or getting on Facebook or getting on YouTube and looking at softball players out there, listening to what they have to say. I watch a lot of the guys doing reviews, trying to learn things from them too, because, you know, guys, I'm 61 years old and I'm still learning. I'm not going to talk about this bat much, but there is a bat coming out. We are actually testing it right now. Billy's talking about it on the behind the scenes, and from here on out, on that behind the scenes video, that episode videos they're hour long, we're going to be doing some testing, and not reviewing, just testing on this bat. We will not do a review on this bat when it's finished, and I'm trying to pick my words where I'm not talking about a bunch of things. Billy will be talking like he is right now. He's texting me numbers on another shipment of bats we're getting by next week. Billy has swung them. He's given his opinion, and then now another 4 are going to come in. He's changing some stuff on the bat, because Blake, you guys, if you guys know about Billy, he's a Sheldon. He's kind of messed up that way. All numbers. This is something that he's going to be working on now for another 2 months, probably March. Know a lot more about it, and you can just watch the videos, listen to us talk, and just watch the way this bat is going to perform. So that's the last thing. When you guys watch the behind the scenes video, and I'm talking real slow right there because I didn't want to let everything out, but that's what we're working on right now, guys. If you want to watch the video, it's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be a review. We're not going to tell you what size we're swinging. We're going to tell you the length of the barrels, and 2-piece or 1-piece, and basically that's it, how thin the handle has gotten, because I think Billy was trying to thin the handle down on it to get it a smaller handle. But we'll let you guys know, and at the end you'll see what bat it is. All right, guys, this is an update to my update. I'm actually taking that other one down. I'm going to add on to this one to the back of it. I got 3 more things I want to talk about, and shame on you guys for not knowing on the back giveaway what reality TV show I was a part of. That was Friday Night Tykes. My son played football for Junior Broncos here in San Antonio, and they came along and asked us, when they first approached us, they asked if we wanted to be part of a reality TV show. There's no reality about it. It's all scripted. I don't even know if I can talk about it. I signed a bunch of paperwork. I'm actually in the series, and I'm going to get in a fight with a guy because that was baited, basically. I talked about this in the past. But they put somebody on our side, and it was against one of the best teams, one of the best teams in our division. It was the Outlaws, very good team, and it was on TV and camera crews around, and I was baited. Somebody picked on me. There's a little clip in Friday Night Tykes of me getting in the face of somebody. And actually, they didn't catch all of it. They just caught a little. Luckily, they didn't catch all of it because it was pretty bad. My wife wouldn't drive home with me. That's how bad it was. So anyway, Friday Night Tykes, it was a reality TV show, that's how come whenever I see all these TV shows right now, I already know they're all scripted because ours was. They made up shit they made up shit that would bring viewers on, and it was controversial shit, and it really didn't happen. I videotaped the whole practices because my son was there, and I get there early, and I would sit back away from everybody up on top of a hill, and I would videotape our practices because I would help train my son at home and show him what he did wrong or did he right. So, and you can see them looking at the scripts. They have the paper in their hands, and they're looking at it, and then all of a sudden they break, and all of a sudden everything goes crazy. And here comes the camera crew, and the kids are looking at them like, what the hell? You're supposed to be training us. But it was 3 years of that. I put up with that shit. It was the Kardashians in football. Never do it again. Never do it again. It's kind of like what you see right now on everything. It's all about yelling and screaming and hit this person and take his head off, and it was it was stupid as shit. Anyway, that's how come I don't like to watch a lot of TV. I don't watch that shit. It's stupid. All right, bats we have coming out. I just heard Billy actually called me up and asked me if I was going to talk about these bats. The Easton. Mario Foster got a hold of me the other day and asked me if I would kind of swing the Easton, the new senior Easton bats that are coming out. Totally different design. And I told him yes, but it'd have to be at the beginning of the year. So in January, that's how come I wanted to talk about it right now. But in January, beginning of January, we're going to get some of those bats in. And it's got to be 7 degrees now, guys, because I think the problem we have with the bats that are being put out right now is that temperature has to go up. You can't have it during like down here in Texas, we have 75, like today it's 75, and then tomorrow they got a cold front coming in, it's supposed to be in the 30s. And then the cold front's going to be here for about 3 days, and it's going to go back to the 75, 72 degrees next week, at the end of the week next week. But what happens to the balls, like I said earlier in the video, is everything's in the garage, so we've got to pull everything inside the house, and then that day that it turns 75, even the bats. A lot of you guys leave the bats in your trunk or in the back of your truck. I'm talking about the back seat. And you take them out and you think it's okay. It's not okay. So we got to kind of watch it. And I got the spinners in. I got my other 2 cases in of the spinner balls. So that's what we're working on. The 2-piece Suncoast bats that are out right now, the new ones, we're going to start hitting those in January too. And on the side, working on that bat that we're swinging that you can see in the behind the scenes videos. Work on that bat a little bit, and Billy's going to be tweaking it. He's going to be talking about it. He's going to be, the pros and cons, what's good about it, what he's going to change, because this is Billy's project. This white bat you've seen us hitting, it's Billy's project. He's going to be doing exactly what he did back in the 80s with the Steels bats, before the Steels bats, because he did this a lot with Easton and TPS. He would tweak them and go out and test them. Basically, he's getting back into doing that with a bat company that has give him the full reins to take something that they have and tweak it. So that's what Billy's doing right now. I know for a fact that he has ordered some thinner handles on this bat that he's working on. And the weight distribution in these bats is what Billy method, the Blake method from back in the 80s. And he told me the other day, whenever he had the Blake bat, if you guys remember that bat back in the late 80s, early 90s. The only thing he did with that bat is he actually just built the end load, because Billy Blake was the inventor of the end load. I don't give a shit what anybody out there says. Back in the early 80s, Billy was the guy that invented the end load, because back in those days, your end load, you know how they did an end load back in those days? They took the weight from here and moved it to here. And Billy would argue with Easton, and he would argue with TPS whenever they would come in, because he was with a lot of the pros. He was with Howards, and he was with Smythe Sox, and he was with Steels, and he would give them his theory about what he thought. And then they finally listened to him and built a bat the way he told them, but just with the end load. So he kind of changed it, where he was talking about dense mass right on the end, instead of having all that weight in here, that rubber in here to absorb the energy when you hit it on the sweet spot. So he had him move it all the way to the end. You know those Steels bats that you hear? And you hear him go ting? That's Billy's design, Blake's design. And he was working for Steels whenever he did it. So he was paid for Steels, because all the guys that played for Steels worked through Steels. So Billy told me the other day that this is the only bat that he's helping design, that he has 100% control over barrel size, 2-piece, 1-piece, flex handle, thin handle, where the weight distribution in the bat. If you guys remember, the Blake bat, back when Steels had it, was a 30-ounce bat. Well, Billy swung a 26-ounce bat during that time. So when you guys tune in to behind the scenes, Billy's going to be talking more, and he's going to be putting out information through his years of experience of building bats, and he's putting it into this one bat, and they're going to come out with it. I'm going to do, and I talked to him about this yesterday, and I got the okay from him, is I'm going to do a long interview or a long podcast with him. We're going to have me, him, and Billy Jr., Billy the Third, Bubba, sit down and do like an hour or two kind of interview podcast on everything, on what Billy did back in the 80s. Like I was talking about, the 2-piece Suncoast that they just came out with, I'm going to get some of those. We're going to start swinging them in January, if it's not too cold. Easton, Mario Foster, that's another one too. I just contacted Johnny Bailey, because for some reason, whenever they put out these bats this year, they didn't put out a Johnny Bailey. And I want to know why. And is he going to have one coming out? I love that bat. I love the Johnny Bailey from Mikan. So I'm curious. I text him, asked him if he was going to have his bat coming out this 2022, because I want to get a hold of it, kind of pick his brain a little bit, talk to him about it. So that's it. We're going to be hitting this white prototype, and Billy's going to be talking, tweaking, asking questions to the other guys who are going to be hitting it in the video. You're going to hear them talk about it, and we're not going to review this bat. This is a bat that's going to be out there in the next couple of months. It's going to be, you're going to hear about it probably in January, going through January, end of January. You'll hear more about it, but we will not be doing a review on this bat. And but I'll keep you guys updated, and watch the video with us swinging it, and kind of get an idea of the way Billy thinks, because everything that he knows, he taught me back in the 80s, and Bubba, his son. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and I've got a couple more here for you to watch, and I've also got a subscribe button, so hit on it and then hit the bell. That way you get notifications whenever I put out another video. Thanks, guys.